So what do you do when your wife withholds sex as punishment? Welcome back to the Secure Husband Podcast. Bruce Abbott, certified professional coach and founder of SecureHusband.com, the podcast where I help good men stop reacting out of fear and frustration and shame. I don't think this is a question that men will ever say out loud, but I hear it in my coaching sessions. I've had it messaged to me in private messages from this podcast. I've seen it in comments because you can feel it in your household. And it's a question that just burns from the inside. Is she using sex as a weapon? Is she using it, or lack of using it, as punishment? Because maybe you've done something in the past that has eroded emotional safety and emotional trust. And we've talked about this before. Your wife is not going to want to have sex with a man that she doesn't emotionally trust or feel emotionally safe with. But you have this sense that she's weaponizing this. Like the more that you mess up, or the more that you fight, the more she withholds. Because it feels like punishment. And you feel shamed. If you're feeling that, doesn't make you weak, doesn't make you broken, doesn't make you a pervert for wanting connection with your wife and wanting to have sex. It just makes you a man who wants love and intimacy and closeness. Without shame, without blame, without collapsing. But the key to all of this is rebuilding emotional trust and emotional safety. And you do that by healing yourself and becoming the man that you want to be. So let's flip the spotlight onto your wife for just a moment. Okay, so yes, some wives do withhold sex, and they sometimes do it intentionally. Sometimes it's not always intentional. Sometimes it is a punishment, but sometimes it's just they're in a protection mode. They're in a control mode. Your response to her is key in all of this. Because that triggers, when she withholds sex, that triggers deep wounds inside of you. And you're going to heal those wounds. That's how you're going to reclaim your power without being controlling or cold. And you'll get back your self-respect and emotional strength that will allow you to cultivate emotional trust and emotional safety. And sex can become a power struggle. And sex should be an expression of love and connection and mutual desire, but in some marriages, sex becomes a scoreboard. Or worse, a weapon, punishment, or even a transaction. All of that feels terrible, especially when it happens, you make a mistake, she gets cold, she withholds. You have an argument, she withholds. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to notice when you're feeling this, and I want you to change one word in this sentence. Change the word punishment to protection. She's not trying to punish you, she's trying to protect herself. In her mind, this is about protection. Because at that moment, she doesn't feel emotionally safe, so she withholds that physical connection. So here's what I want you to do. Just notice this. When you can think of this as protection and not punishment, then it takes some of the sting away from it. Because when you think of it as punishment, then what you might do is you might try to guilt or explode, maybe chase, maybe beg. You're trying to prove something, but just stop seeing this as a power struggle. Start seeing it as an invitation to reclaim your power by no longer making her your source of validation or worth so that you can feel fulfilled with so much self-love that you overflow. And when you overflow that love, then she feels emotionally safe and emotionally trusting. Because ask yourself, when she withholds sex, how do you react? Is your reaction something that's going to make her want to have sex with you? Do you get angry? Do you shut down? Do you say things, why even try? You're never going to change. I'm your husband. You should want me. Or you start people-pleasing. Maybe if I do all these good things, she'll want me again. Or you withdraw. You withdraw your own affection in retaliation. That's reactivity. And reactivity is lost power because your sense of self is tied to whether she wants you or not. And that's dangerous ground because it turns you into a beggar and a pleader, controlling, manipulative. You're portraying that emotional dependency. And that's not leadership. So you have to pause and just ask yourself, okay, where am I making her sexual openness responsible for my emotional security? Because until you see that pattern, you're going to be stuck in it. And then you choose. You make the decision to stop trying to get her to meet your emotional and sexual needs so that you'll feel okay. Now, don't misunderstand me on that. You're allowed to want sex. You are not to feel shamed for wanting sex. You are not to feel shamed for craving connection. You are allowed to initiate sex. You're allowed to feel rejection when it disappears. You're allowed to want these things. But if your peace depends on whether or not she gives you sex, you're using her to regulate your pain. And the truth is that's never going to work. She can sense that, and so she will withdraw out of protection. Now, she may not be able to put this into words, but she can feel it. She can feel that pressure, and that pressure kills the intimacy. So the choice you have to make, you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to learn to meet my needs internally, my needs for worth, my self-esteem, my sense of self. I'm going to learn to meet those needs so that I can stop manipulating and begging and resenting her for not meeting those needs for me. Because when you talk about her not meeting your needs, you may be talking about she's not meeting your sexual needs, but subconsciously what you're saying is she's not meeting my self-worth needs because you've tied your self-worth to her reactions. That's a hard choice because it requires you to let go of trying to manage her. But that choice is also power. Because now for the first time probably in your life, you get to ask, how can I meet my emotional needs behind my desire for sex without relying on her to do it for me? That's where healing begins. And again, you got to go deep with this. You got to meet that part of you that's deeply wounded by her sexual rejection, that little boy inside. Because if it's just about sex, yeah, you'd watch porn and be fine, but it's not just about sex. It's about what the rejection means to you. That rejection, that withdrawal of sex, you're telling yourself that it means that I'm not desirable, I'm not chosen, I don't matter, I'm not enough for her to want me. And where do those messages come from? Probably not her. They come from deep inside of you. Again, that part of you that maybe had to earn affection from your family. You learned early that love was unconditional. And you're associating the idea of, okay, if she doesn't want me, subconsciously, I must feel worthless. It's that little boy inside of you because he's still begging. He's still looking for someone to answer the question, am I lovable? And that is not something that your wife can answer. That's your question to answer with love, self-love, self-compassion, and truth. You're not rejected because you're broken. You're hurting because a wound got reopened and now it's time to heal it. And you recognize that you need something bigger because you've been operating from the false core beliefs. So you have to connect through prayer, reflection, meditation, whatever that divine source of higher power is for you, God, the universe, higher self, whatever is your belief system, you have to tap into that source of unconditional love and truth that tells you exactly you are worthy, you are loved. You don't have to earn that. And that helps because then you can build that from the inside and you realize that your wife's rejection isn't about you, it's about her. She's protecting. Because when a woman withholds sex, especially if it's a pattern, it's rarely punishment. It's most often protection. She's protecting herself from emotional vulnerability. She doesn't want to feel like a failure. Maybe she's got body shaming or past trauma. Maybe she's got a fear of being used. But mostly it's she doesn't feel emotionally safe. Her withholding doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. It just means she's acting from her wound and it's triggering your wounds. Just like your wound triggers your reactions, her wound is triggering her shutdown. But you have a choice now. Do you keep reacting to her reaction and the cycle continuing, or do you break the loop? And you break the loop by becoming safe, secure, non-reactive, present. You don't need to change her. You just need to stop the cycle. You need to stop making her wounded behavior responsible for your self-worth. And now you start to change the system. And you get that clarity from your divine guidance. You say, hey, God, what is my next step? What is my loving action that I need to do? How do I take full, radical responsibility for healing the parts of me that feel small and unloved and ashamed so that I'm not blaming her, but because I no longer want to outsource my worth to her choices? And that's how you find freedom and healing. What does this look like in your marriage? Okay, well, if you feel rejected, you can breathe through it instead of reacting. Stay calm. Think of yourself as the mountain and your wife is like the weather. It's a great analogy I heard just recently. She might be cold or stormy or rainy or sunny or the heat or whatever, and you are solid, grounded, the mountain, because you can soothe your nervous system and breathe through the rejection and not react to it. And yeah, you want sex, but you don't pressure or punish when it's not there. Did I say giving up on sex? No. I'm saying you don't react when it's not happening in that moment. And yeah, sometimes you're going to feel pain, but you show up for yourself like a father would for his son, loving, compassionate. And a lot of this has to do with integrity and authenticity and truthfulness and honesty. And you speak honestly, not to guilt her, just to be known. And this allows you to really move through your emotions without demanding that she fix them, because that's going to cause her to put up her walls even more. Her protection mode will kick up a whole nother level. And now you become the safe one. And when you become safe to yourself, you stop being so desperate for safety through sex. And that's what emotional leadership looks like. And often when you do that, when you're a good man married to a good woman, you're just in a dysfunctional system, she feels safer. She can trust you more. And those feelings come back. Is it 100% guaranteed? No, I never say that it's 100% guaranteed. But emotional safety and emotional trust, in my opinion, is probably the greatest barrier to her wanting to give you affection in a marriage, especially if you've had ruptures and behaviors reacting in the past. But you heal. You become that man whose peace and power and purpose no longer depend on being wanted. You have self-peace, self-power, your own purpose. And that allows you to stop chasing sex as proof that you're worthy and just being a man who attracts it. And you don't have to see your wife's rejection anymore as a verdict on your masculinity and validation to your identity, because you know now, in truth, I'm a good man. I'm a whole man. I'm secure. I can face pain without running from it, with courage. I don't have to demand someone else fix it. I'm able to speak my truth clearly. I can honor my boundaries calmly. I stop performing. I stop people-pleasing. I start leading. It's a message I preach over and over. When you stop needing sex to feel okay, that intimacy becomes possible again. You're a secure man who's choosing himself, and that's magnetic. Because I know it's easy to feel ashamed or powerless or angry. I've been there. I have felt what you are feeling. And man, I'm sending love your way. But you're not powerless. You just have to tap into a different kind of strength. This is not one that begs or collapses or explodes or withdraws. It's just one that leads. You're reclaiming yourself when you stop reacting and start healing and you start leading and you become safe and you become steady and you become secure. That's the man that you want to be. It's the man that you were always meant to be. And I'm here for you. I'm here to support you on this journey. Hey, I hope this podcast was helpful for you. If so, will you give me a review? Hit that subscribe button for more Secure Husband episodes. Share this episode with someone who you think may need to hear this. Visit securehusband.com for more resources and to book one-on-one coaching with me. And I'll see you again on the next Secure Husband podcast. Thanks for listening.